be a real boy.
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Begin. Start again. The world made clean for the new man to rebuild. I was meant to be new. I was meant to be beautiful. The world would have looked to the sky and seen hope, seen mercy. Instead, they'll look up in horror because of you. You've wounded me.
No childhood strings attached. No more. It makes me think back to yesterday, when I was sitting in math class laughing with all my friends. It makes me think back to yesterday, when I was sitting in history class, learning about all the things I love to learn about. The Roman Empire, Julius Caesar, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great. Or thinking back to yesterday when I was in English class, excelling in all my grades in that class. It makes me think back to yesterday when I was in elementary school getting bullied and getting picked on for my shape and my size and how short I was. All the way through middle school, it makes me think about when people would call me out and do things to me that I can only imagine on my worst enemy. Quite nostalgic if you think about it. But in order for me to be happy about who I am now, I have to look at all those other things I've gone through in life and say, this too shall pass, and realize that there's a time and place for everything. There's my plans, and then there's God's plans. And if my plans don't align with God's, then they won't happen. So, I pray for the best of them. Project Conquest is coming. It will soon be a program that you guys can all be a part of. And this is the announcement of it. What is it? You'll know soon enough. But for now, I want you guys to focus on your own Project Conquest. Project Conquest is you're making your life a project of conquest. To conquer. What is something that you want to be? You want to be an NFL player? You want to be that amazing, inspiring artist? You want to be a motivational speaker? Well then fine. Begin your own Project Conquest. Set the sea, put up the sail, and flow across the ocean of success. I mean, it's a famous quote. Ships look beautiful at bay, but that's not what they're made for. You have to sail the sea and set off in your new found success. I'm only thinking about the nostalgic moments of the past because it was only yesterday that I was given my cap and gown. And I can think of the smile that I had. And no such thing now as a frown. You can look back in those moments and see the best of yourself or the worst. It's up to your choice. But remember, it's your view of those things that define what type of person you are. I'm a happy and generous person because I look at those moments and only take out the kindness out of them and try thinking of how they helped me become a better person for the betterment of others, rather than someone who turned me into a criminal, turned me into somebody who's envious and hateful for others. I've went through plenty of experiences that could derive me for a hateful person, or of a hateful person, or become a hateful person, but I am not. I like to set the scene of inspiration and motivation to all that your self-destruction is actually what improves you. 2025 will be the year that I set the most gigs. I try setting the scene in athletics from right now, as of right now, to 2025 will be the time where I do the most impact. And I become a staple of those who are trying to empower themselves. It is only after you've put in the work that you've been wishing you could put in that you will then succeed. But you have to be able to put in the work. You have to be willing to put in that work. I'm working on becoming an author with soon to be a published children's book. I got a biography. I got lesson books and life motivation books coming out, all being worked on as of now. I have podcasts that I'm on that soon will be released. I have interviews that I've had that soon will come out. These things are setting the tone for who I chose my life to be. Now, the choice is yours. How bad do you want success? All this talk of success reminds me of a story that shows you the key to success. A great, fantastic, and powerful story. A story that which was told to me by my lovely girlfriend's brother, a good friend of mine, a great successful mentor in my life. And the story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a very unsuccessful man who wished to be successful. He craved to be successful. He wanted to be successful. So he reached out to a mentor, to where that mentor reached back to him and said, "How bad do you want to be successful?" And the man replied, "Really, really, really bad." The mentor asks again, "How bad do you want to be successful?" And the man replies, "Really, really, really bad. I want it more than anything." He sets the tone and says, "Okay, fine. If you want to be successful, I'll meet up with you and I'll show you the key to success." He gives him the coordinates of the location and the date and says, "Meet me at the beach underneath the dock, just me and you. And there I will show you the key to success." So the unsuccessful man is very proud of himself for getting this mentorship. He goes down to that beach, underneath that dock, to where he sees a boat in the beautiful water that glistens off of the hot sun, rippling effect of the air. And he thinks to himself, this is a nice scenery to find the key to success. The mentor says, "Okay, thanks for meeting up with me. Do you want to know what the key to success is?" And the unsuccessful man says, "Absolutely. I'd love to learn." The mentor says, "If you want to learn the key to success, I want you to look over that boat into the water. And there you will find the key to success." So the man is a little stumped. He leans over the boat to where he looks in the water and he can see his reflection in the rippling, in the tiny ripples in the water as he breathes. He at first thinks that the mentor is trying to show him a story of self-reflection because he can see himself in the water. So he smirks and starts to chuckle. Until all of a sudden, the unsuccessful man sees the reflection of the mentor taking his hand, putting it on the back of the unsuccessful man's head and dunking and drowning him in the water. The unsuccessful man starts to wave his hands. He starts to push off the boat. He starts to shake his legs. He starts to move. He starts taking his head, pushing the mentor off of him, trying to breathe ever so slightly. But he can't. The mentor pushes his head back into the water where he's drowning, he's spitting up water. He's trying to breathe, and every time he reaches the air, he appreciates breathing once again. He needs to breathe. He wants to breathe. The mentor puts his head back under to where he's then floating. He's planting. He's trying to swim his way half body through the water. And that's when the mentor then lets go of the unsuccessful man's head to where he then blows out of water. Water going everywhere, flowing from his head to where that oxygen hits his lungs. And he once again realizes how much he wants to breathe. And the mentor looks at him as the unsuccessful man's yelling and yelling and yelling. Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? What was the point of that? The mentor says, when you want to be as successful as you want to breathe, as you needed to breathe, only then will you find the key to success. Because that want, that true need, that's how you succeed. Because it's only through that hard and vigorous valor that you are then responsible enough to set that wisdom of now knowing the truth, now unlocking the need to succeed. Because if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you will succeed. That, or the only alternative, is to drown, is to die, is to suffocate in the reality of regret and failure in not doing the things that you said you would do. Powerful and great story. But this is no longer a story. You have to follow it. This is reality. You have big dreams. You're a big dreamer. I know you. I can see you behind that camera. If I can do it, so can you. Look at me. Look up to me as a role model for right now in this moment. I have an entrepreneurial mindset. Business-like. I'm kind. I'm generous. I stay stuck to the principles of mine in the code of walkerism. Find that code. Find that drive. Find that need to breathe. Release yourself from all the childhood attachments, all them strings. And only keep the strings that you wish to be attached to, the ones that will help you out. Because once you're trying to pull away to become the person you are meant to be, you'll realize keeping all those strings that you don't need only are going to hold you back. But once you cut, it leaves the rest of the string to ever so slightly get longer and longer and longer. So that way you can be the person who you're meant to be, with the strings that help you swing your way to being that person. You want to be successful? Yeet said it best. Don't fall to the illusion. Don't fall to the illusion that you can't breathe. It's either death or life. That's how you have to see it. And while you're drowning in this current, pitiful sorrow, I hope you see the beam of light at the end of the tunnel. The sky above you, above the water that the mentor is pushing you down. Who's that mentor in your life? Who is going to show you that you have to breathe? Well, I'm sticking my hand out after drowning you. Are you going to take my hand or not? Are you going to join Project Conquest with me or not? Are you going to choose to be successful or not? Are you going to choose to breathe or not? It's an illusion. If you cannot control your mind, then how do you expect to control your life? All you have to do is self-govern yourself and tell yourself, breathe.